media was following me around. And as I sat there, he looked at me, he said, listen, let me tell you something. Once you become heavyweight champion of the world, I'm going to show you what you'll have. He said, wait right here. Because he wanted to show me something. Went downstairs. About 2 minutes later, he ran up the stairs, had this big briefcase. I said, man, he's going to show me $100,000. He said, something I'm going to have when I'm champ. And he said, sit down. And I sat down, he opened the briefcase. It was a telephone. He said, see? He put it up to his ear. I don't even think it was connected. He said, see, you'll have one of these. And today, what made me think of that story, I was back in the back with my little cell phone, enjoying the texting and the Facebook and the tweeting and you name it. I was doing it all. But way back then, he had a big briefcase with a big telephone on his ear. And what I remembered about it, because he wanted to make me think that was the most glorious thing one could ever have, was a briefcase telephone. But the point of it is, he sold me on it like a fool. As soon as I became champ, I bought one. And some of us today are in the same situation. May have a product that you're close to, but you got to love it and believe in it like Muhammad Ali believed in that briefcase telephone. He thought it was the best thing that ever happened. And in reality, it was the best thing that ever happened, because now all of us are catering to the cell phone system. And I know that I went back, sit down, I'd been heavyweight champ of the world and worked all those years to be champion, then I stopped. And everybody thought that's the end of George. And I did for 10 years, I didn't even make a fist, let alone fight. I didn't fight. I was a preacher. And I dedicated my life to talking about nun punching. And there I am, a profound occurrence in my life. I became broke. And when you become broke, you got to work. And I remember thinking, oh God, I wish I was a golfer. But I was, and I couldn't play golf. And if I could have come back to golf, I would have appreciated it. The only thing I had was to come back to boxing. There was 315 pounds. Because for 10 years you're out of boxing, you learn to enjoy life. And I mean, I didn't know, when I left boxing, they didn't have things like Burger King, McDonald's. And then when I left boxing, I celebrated. I stopped at those things every evening and enjoyed myself. 315 pounds. But I had to go back to work. And I wanted to make it easy for myself when I went back to work. I wanted to awaken after 10 years everybody to who I was. Remember, I was George Foreman, the champ of the world? And I'd explain to people, please, I need someone to invest in me. I need to fight in each city, to build my name up, and I need you to put up $50,000 for me, so I don't have to pay myself. I can get the opponents there and invest in the media time, fly here and there. All I need is $50,000. And people would sit down for me with a second, and they said, well, how old are you, by the way? I said, well, I'm almost 40. I said, no. Every person I'd ask, can you just put up, well, for $10,000? No. They looked at me as if to say, you must be crazy. About that time, they had a young man who was heavyweight champ of the world who was 19, and you're talking about coming back and you're almost 40? No, we're not buying that. I couldn't get anyone to invest not even a dime in me. So I said to myself, I have a life savings I put aside for my kids and me. We're going to live happily ever after one day. I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take my money and invest in me. And I remember looking in the mirror saying, boy, you must be crazy. But I did. I took the money and I started to invest, because one person, I was in the office and they were just about to do it. They were going to invest in me, put up almost $200,000. Then they looked at me and stopped speaking to me and left the room and didn't do it. And I said, look, if you would just invest in me, I will give you 10%, no, 50% of everything I make from here on out. And they just got scared and left me. But I invested in George Foreman. And in no time flat, I swing my right hand in the ring and miss a guy. Then I swing my left and miss him. And if I miss him with both, I belly bump him. I belly bumped myself all the way into a chance to fight for the heavyweight championship of the world. And in no time flat, my purses started to come in at $50 million. And I thought about, man, you know, I don't have to share a dime of this now. It all belongs to me. And then the purses got to be $60 million. And of course, Madison Avenue saluted me, and I made more millions. And all the time I was thinking, I offered them 50% of me, and they left me alone. Today, you got to be just like in that position. You have a product, you got to believe in it like Muhammad Ali believed in that big briefcase telephone. You got to show it, show off, and when no one else believes in you, you can't decide, I don't believe in myself. You got to take heart and believe that you have a product. Not only is the product good, but you love it. And that's one thing I can remember about Muhammad Ali. He sure loved himself. He liked himself. I was, last story I'll tell you. I was a 20-year-old boy. I was getting ready to turn professional as a boxer. I've been telling these stories all week there. And so I invited this girl. She was a pretty girl. I wanted to court her. This is going to be my girlfriend. And I invited her to dinner at a Doric Hotel. Nice dinner. And I couldn't afford a dinner like that, but I just took a chance. And then I broke out. I said, you know, I'm going to be a boxer, heavyweight champion of the world one day. She said, a boxer? I said, yep. She said, I met a boxer. I met Muhammad Ali once. He was on the street corner saying, look at me. Look at me. I'm pretty. I'm beautiful. She said, all he had on was a T-shirt and a pair of jeans. I said, really? She said, yeah. You know what? She said, he was beautiful. I said, really? I said, I'm never inviting her to dinner again. So, there I'm in New York City a year later, maybe 71, and I'm boxing this time, walking down the street, no one's bothering me, and I see a crowd of people wondering what's going on. And as I get closer to my hotel, the crowd would get closer, so finally I stopped, peeked inside the crowd. Who was there but Muhammad Ali? Then when I peeked, I tried to take my head off because he was beautiful. I thought that girl wasn't lying. She wasn't trying to put me down. She was only describing him. And today, your product, your vision, your dream is beautiful. You just got to say it so much that you believe it. Never give up on it, because there may be a George Foreman in your hand. All you got to do is invest your time and your effort into it, and never give up. Never give up on it, but keep showing it off until you can't. I can't get that boy out of my mind showing me that briefcase telephone. And I'll never get you out of my mind too. Keep showing your product. Keep believing. Someone is going to pick it up and put that 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000 in it, just like they tried to do me after I'd won mine. Thank you.